Everybody, and welcome to B Movie Euphoria's first streaming review. I want to do something a little different. I have tons of tapes, but as some of you may know, there are films streaming online. Um, I know it's a new thing, but it's happening, and you know, it's partly why video stores disappeared. I mean, it's the main reason why video stores disappeared. And it's everywhere. So obviously, I watch films online as well. And with streaming, I'd like to do something a little different. I'm going to start off with a movie that was recommended to me by my friend Mark. It's a film called The House on Skull Mountain. Ah! So, let's do it. So, basically, I want you guys to, if you want, you don't have to, submit films that you think I'd like, or maybe you haven't even seen them and you're like, I want you to watch it. Tell me if it's good or not. And I'll tell you. Anyway, I'm eating orange because I can feel something. I think it's sore throat, vitamin C. Anyway, just tell me. Hopefully, it'll be online somewhere where I can watch it and I'll review it. And that's what I'm doing this time. So, The House on Skull Mountain. So, the plot for this one isn't altogether original or well laid out or anything. I'll say that it is entertaining for what it is. So, it's basically starts off with a house on a mountain with a skull on it. Hence, Skull Mountain. It's kind of like a weird rock formation that looks like a skull. And the only time you see it is when people are like driving up to it, and you can see kind of the visage. And it's either a very good matte painting or it's a miniature. And, buddy, it looks good. It looks great as far as, 1970s films look. So, it starts off with this house. There's a very old woman who is clearly dying on her deathbed. And she has all these letters that she wants sent out to who we find out are her only descendants, her grandchildren, basically. So she has her butler, I guess, send out all these letters, and then the next scene, basically, she opens this box, and there's a voodoo doll in there, and she, like, lifts it up, and then, she's dead. So, kaput, she's gone. And then, one by one, we meet her possible descendants, or, people who might inherit the house, whatever, what have you. The great thing about this film is that it's an all-black cast. But it's not really a blaxploitation film in the sense that they aren't really. It doesn't really feel exploitive. It just feels like a really kind of normal, spooky house film. It feels like House on Haunted Hill. That's the best that I could describe it as. Anyway, so the first person we see is actually, so there's one white cast member, and you would know him, Victor French, if we have any fans of Highway to Heaven or Little House on the Prairie. He's always kind of Michael Landon's second banana. I always liked him because I watched both of those shows when I was a kid, and I loved those shows. I'll admit it. Sometimes I still watch Highway to Heaven just because it gives me a warm feeling inside. Anyway, So Victor French is in it. He's one of the descendants too, and obviously they kind of make reference to the fact that he's a white dude and everything, but it's not really race doesn't really play a big part in this film, and that's what kind of makes it special in a sense that we're not really looking at what race is or anything. Anyway, so we see the first woman to show up, and she's driving her car, and suddenly there's another car behind her, and it's like, trying to just being a real dick and trying to push her off the road. And then the guy just like pulls around her, and you see it's some guy, and he's laughing his ass off. She's like, "What the hell?" And then this guy is driving for a while, and then he sees this skull like come at him. There's a lot of skull action in this film. Obviously, the film is called, House on Skull Mountain, so there's going to be a lot of like interesting, weird skull shots going on in this. Especially the end. The end has a really great skull shot. Anyway, so that turns out to be one of the descendants, or one of the. I don't know what the word is. One of her grandchildren. One of the grandchildren. Okay. And so that's one of her grandchildren too. They both show up. She's like, "What? Why are you such a dick?" And this guy, he's kind of typical sleazebag ladies' man. Doesn't really give a crap that his grandmother that he never knew about just died. I mean, obviously you're not really going to care about a grandmother you never knew about just dying, but whatever, he's being a real dick about it anyway. So, the woman, I'm really sorry, but I didn't really remember any of their names, so we're just going to say the first woman shows up. The burial is happening, and she sees this like raven, and it like almost attacks her when she throws some dirt on the grave, and that's just the beginning of crazy shit happening. So, the house is really cool. It apparently was like, it is a real house. It wasn't like a set built or anything. It was a place where people have weddings and stuff. So it's really beautiful, and just looks really great. Things start happening right off the bat. There's like doors opening and closing, and we start getting this sense that there is this voodoo force because we keep hearing and seeing stuff pertaining to voodoo, and we start seeing that the butler might be doing some nefarious shit because he's in his own room, chanting, and then like poking a voodoo doll and everything, and some dark, crazy shit's going on. So, the woman, the asshole guy, another woman comes, an older woman comes, also a grandchild. She comes in on a plane, and on the way there, she sees a hooded figure like turn around very slowly and face her, and you can't see the face. And that was a really creepy scene, and I was like, this is pretty good. And she just screams, "Ah!" And then she arrives, and then Victor French is the last one to arrive. I'm saying his name because he's the only one that I knew out of the whole cast, but they were all good. They were all decent. The woman on the plane wasn't the best actress. Anyway, so things start happening. The grandchildren start dying one by one, and it just kind of rolls along how you would expect. Victor French and the first woman kind of develop this relationship, and they go out, and there's this kind of nice montage scene of them enjoying the city and everything, and you get to hear some jazzy music. We're enjoying the city and stuff like that. So, whatever. That's kind of fine. You're kind of like, all right, get back to the plot. And then it does. And then finally, the last act just goes completely wild. Completely voodoo wild. And there is at least it's at least a 15 to 20 minute scene of just wild voodoo dancing with a bunch of characters that just show up out of nowhere. Like, there's just a ton of voodoo dancers going nuts. And it is just really wild. Like, it's a little insight, little over the top, but a lot of snakes. There's a lot of snake action, and just it was fun overall. It gets a little boring, and that's saying a lot to a movie that's like an hour and 25 minutes. But I enjoyed it for the fact that it was very different from. Uh, okay, it was different and the same. It was the same in the sense that very traditional, like horror house film of characters dying one by one, and then there were none kind of film. But it was different in the sense that it was it was set up differently, and the voodoo element actually added a very interesting thing to it. Even though I feel like they didn't do a lot of research on voodoo, apart from the voodoo dolls and snakes. I guess I don't know a lot about voodoo. I should probably learn more because it seems pretty interesting. But overall, I would say check it out. Just because it's an easy watch. I only got kind of bored once, and that was during the whole cheesy looking at the city montage with the two of them. But other than that, there are some decent scares in there. You see the hooded figure again, um, and it's pretty freaky. But ultimately, the hooded figure has nothing to do with the plot or anything. The end is fantastic. I really loved it. I'm not going to ruin it for you. Anyway, The House on Skull Mountain, available on YouTube. I'll leave a link so you can check it out. Just watch it while you're, vacuuming or cleaning up or something. It's good. Okay? All right. So I'm going to switch gears here and I'm going to go a little rant about, and I know a lot of people talk about this subject, but I want to say it because it's something that has affected me the last two times I've gone to the movies. I recently saw Pet Sematary. I thought it was decent. It wasn't very scary, but I liked it. It had a good atmosphere, very fun. Then I saw Hellboy. Loved it. Um, a friend of mine, James, you're right on the nose. Not a lot of great plot, but wow! They really, really went for it, and they did not shy away from showing some super intense, fucked up shit. So I would recommend both of those. Go see it. The problem is, on both occasions, someone with their fucking cell phone has to take their goddamn cell phone out. With Pet Sematary, it was a person in the front row, and they were just flipping. I was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" Uh, with that one, it was fine because I just kind of like stooped down a little bit and then put my leg up, and then I couldn't see their goddamn cell phone. And then in Hellboy, someone right down the lane was, flipping. I'm just like, so here's my thing. If you're going to look on your cell phone in the theater, expect me or someone else to call you a fucking piece of shit because that's exactly what you are. You are just. I'm not telling any of my viewers this. You guys are awesome. I love you guys, but cell phone assholes in the theater are the biggest. They're right up there with the alt right. Okay, um, maybe they're not that bad, but still, just be considerate. Think about it, like what I'm talking about. There's streaming stuff. You can watch almost any movie, and if it's a movie in the theater, just wait a couple months or whatever. It will come to your TV, and then you can just flip through your phone and not really watch the movie at home. And then we don't have to see that bright light in our periphery and just have to see that garbage because why the fuck are you in the theater? Why? What? If you just want to be on your phone, then go and sit at Starbucks where you can sit on your phone, have this fake sort of life where you live vicariously through Facebook or Instagram and everything, and you can just enjoy it that way, okay? And that's it. Okay, that's all I have to say. One more thing, we have a movie night scheduled for at Speciation. This is our new B Movie Euphoria warehouse cinema movie night. I'm really happy with it. I'm really so fucking happy that so many people showed up. I forgot the trailer tape last time, but we are going to be showing Kung Fu trailers this time. So show up. It's going to be, I can't tell you what the movie is yet. Okay? So just be excited because it's going to be amazing. Last month it was incredible. It was Attack of the Killed Tomatoes. This month it's going to be better. April 28th, Speciation Artisan Ales. Check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Streaming, screaming. It's a new thing. Or maybe it won't be. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. See ya.